Hello, I'm Brian, and today I'm going to be talking about the Emilia earthquake. Now, the 29th, 2012 May Emilia-Romagna earthquake was a 5.8 magnitude earthquake that started at 7 a.m. This earthquake occurred only 9 days after the 20th May earthquake that hit the same region. The epicenter was 50 kilometers northwest of the major city Bologna. The epicenter is the center of the earthquake on the Earthis. The Mediterranean region is active due to the Eurasian and African plates converging against each other, which means the two plates collide into each other, which causes friction. And and this friction causes the earthquake. Now the focus was 10 kilometers below the surface, the focus being the point where the friction is actually happening. This is different from the epicenter, where the epicenter only depicts the general area of the earthquake, but the focus is the actual, very exact point of where all the stuff is happening. The image here you see here is a map showing the epicenter of the earthquake, and for a wider view, you can see that it's actually Emilia is actually in northern Italy. There were 17 deaths, there were 15,000 who needed shelter because their houses were destroyed, and there were 110,000 old age pensioners at risk from this earthquake. Furthermore, because of the analysis of how much damage there was a lot of discussion for the need of inspection regarding the seismic resistance of factories because of the huge numbers of industrial structures that collapsed during the earthquake. And because of that, there was also a proposal for a 15-year disaster risk reduction plan, known as a DRR. Heavy damage was sustained to all structures throughout, especially historical ones. Here you can see a church from San Felice, and it is completely demolished. Actually, just the upper left part, but still, it's just amazing. You just see, it's just magical, and you can see that there's a little partial, there are partial and complete collapses, especially industrial facilities like factories, and they totaled 150 million euros worth of damage. Because the industrial facilities weren't designed for seismic loads, a lot of them were completely destroyed from the earthquake and were the largest contributors to the death toll. Because they had to close up, it led to a huge economic impact, as these companies that use these factories are a huge factor in stabilizing, developing the economy, and without them, the economy would drop largely, by really, it drop a lot. Due to the collapse of structures, many areas had to be evacuated and cordoned off for safety. There was slight damage to buried services, like the spawning of sewage, and there was also rebuilding, which is needed, which is also an economic impact. And the loss of historical structures can also be considered as an environmental impact, more like a cultural impact kind of thing. To reiterate, the most important things that happened after the earthquake, there was a 15-year DRR that was proposed. There was an inspection for seismic loads of factories, and there was also profound reflection about safety rules in the workplace after death toll sustained, which was, although a low number, but still important enough to consider about safety rules. This is my source, and if you want to have a more in-depth look, specifically a field observation report by epicenter, you can see here in the first my first source was an epicenter field report. You can take a look at that, and it's available on their website. Thank you very much.